Welcome. Yeah. What we saying? Shout out to all the subscribers, the new ones, the returning ones. Do you know what I mean? Listen, I'm gonna be completely real with you, all right? Normally, yeah, I roll through exactly what I need to be, what you're gonna see me reacting to, right? But today we ain't doing that. You see the title. You want to see what I'm going to be reacting to? It will be in the description box below. Yeah, if you want to see all that. But if you want to shout out, watch to the end of the stream, and you will get your shout out if you leave it in the live chat. You know what I'm saying? But before we do, let me make sure that I actually have this available to watch properly, so I can actually make sure that there is no technical difficulties and all that stuff there. But yeah, man, let me know what your thoughts are as well, though. Like, if you want me to react to, let me, yeah, if you want me to react to other stuff as well, just let me know in it. Let me know if I can get to it, I'll get to it. Do you know what I mean? Oh, and by the way, listen, I'm gonna get into it. All right, I will get into it. But yeah, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. But yeah, man, my name is Versatile, aka the Alkebulan Trust, a name you can trust when it comes to all things reactions. So without further ado, we're going to react to, you know what I mean? Finally, this time, yeah. Finally, this time, Miss Lauryn Hill and Doechii, yeah. I know some of you want to say Doechii's an industry plant, but how about this? Would Miss Lauryn Hill co-sign an industry plant? No, she wouldn't. No, she wouldn't. Now, get me. Anyway, so give me a second. There's something else I'm doing on my other phone. Once I get sponsored by them, then you know what I mean? I can talk about it. But for now, get me. But anyway, Miss Lauryn Hill Doechii should be here available if I can find it. But by the way, my name is Versatile, aka the Alkebulan Trust, a name you can trust when it comes to all things reactions. So yeah, man, we're gonna react to Doechii and Lauryn Hill, or let's say Miss Lauryn Hill. So if you're a Lauryn Hill fan, if you're a Miss Lauryn Hill fan, hit the subscribe button. That's just bell notification, like, comment, share, subscribe. If you are a Lauryn Hill fan, you know what to do already. You know what I mean? It only makes sense. So, I'm just trying to think what one I have to react to. I'm trying to see if I can find Lauryn Hill. Okay, Butter Doechii. All right, you know, it might have to be the first one. It might have to be the first one. Might have to be the first one. Let's see. I hope this is. No, that doesn't make no sense. Hold on. It can't be that. Okay. If we can't find it here, we're just gonna have to go somewhere else. You know what I mean? I know where we can go. Because the thing is, when it comes down to, oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's go. Okay, this is an icon. But listen, no, for real though, if you are a Lauryn Hill fan, I need you to hit the subscribe button, because the reason why I'm telling you this is because look, at the end of the day, when it comes down to when it comes down to, like, for example, how do I explain this? It's like, you know, in life, yeah, there's a situation. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like you have a generation of, like, I'll give you an example, right? Right. For example, Jay-Z. From Jay-Z, you get J. Cole, right? Now, obviously, don't get it twisted. You get J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, whatever, right? All right. But prior to that, there's Big Daddy Kane. You know what I mean? There's Jazzo. Do you get what I'm trying to say? There's that cosign, and the irony of it is the fact of it's not that they're co-signing someone who is not. It's like they're similar to them, but not similar to them, but better, and not even better than them either. Sometimes it could be better than them, but it's they're gonna take it to the next level. They're gonna do something within their own right that's gonna make them be. Hang on. Yeah, so it's gonna take them to the next level where, like, look, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I've seen it for my own two eyes. Do you know what I mean? My own two eyes, just seeing from Jay-Z to J. Cole. Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, J. Cole may not be a quote unquote billionaire, and like Jay-Z, maybe he is a billionaire. We just don't know because J. Cole was the type to do his stuff private behind closed doors. I mean, he's got his own festival, which I hope the Dreamville Festival continues on. You know what I mean? Even if he does want to decide to retire, but let's go. So I came to see him and listen for fire. And there he was, the shower, a stranger to my heart. Lauryn Hill is the only artist in the world that can tour off of one album. Although technically she got at least 2 or 3 albums with the Fugees, but that don't count as a solo artist. That's cold. One time. Two times. Oh man, just knowing that Roberta Flack is behind this particular song. Do you know what I mean? Man, again, see, passing down the torch. Do you get it? Passing down the torch, Brad. Like from Roberta Flack to Miss Lauryn Hill. That cosign there. Anyway, let's go. Hey, listen. I know you're waiting for when is she gonna bring out Doechii? When is she gonna bring out Doechii? When is she gonna bring out Doechii? Wait. Be patient, all right? Be patient. Hit the subscribe button, by the way. Hit the like button. Let's go. Leave a comment in the comments below. You want to shout out, leave that in the live chat, and I'll give you a shout out towards the end of this stream. Let's keep moving though. Let's go. Right, that also speaks to the fact that when you have differences, you know what I mean, and you can talk it out, man. Get me? You can come to a resolution. So it's good to see these two on stage together. As for Pras, as for that rat, no, I'm joking. All right, I'm joking. But like for him to do what he's doing, I don't understand it. You know what I mean? Can someone let me know? Like, why would he? Why would he? Why? You know what I mean? You're already part of a group called the Fugees, which is shortened for refugees. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's where it derives from. If you know, you know. So it's like, why would you? And then when you think about it, do you know what I mean? I don't know what the case is now, but if he, I Donald Trump might just say, you know what? Let me send you back to Haiti, bruv. Donald Trump is that guy. Anyway, let me not stop. Let me stop talking on that. I listen. All I'm gonna say is, all jokes aside, it's good to see these guys on stage together performing. That's all I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? It's good to see because there was meant to be a tour that's meant to happen, and then it got cancelled because of the whole Praz situation. If you know, you know. Let's go. Not about Miss Lauryn and lately. No, 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 no. Jeez.
I want to introduce y'all to another sister, another beautiful sister. Miami, make some noise for Doechii! Come on! Come on, Doechii!
Now listen. It's the way it's that cosign, like it's not like it's a fake cosign or like, you know what I mean? It's like a genuine cosign. It reminds me of, even though I haven't verbally heard it, I haven't heard it in like auditory like, or seen it like this, but like, for example, when SZA was performing at the Super Bowl with Kendrick Lamar, like Anita Baker and who else was it? There was someone else, Anita Baker and Dionne Warwick, I believe it was Miss Dionne Warwick. Like, you know what I mean? They're icons in the game. You know what I mean? They're legends of legends of legends. If you know, you know. So for them to literally co-sign SZA, and okay, yes, SZA's been out for a minute. You know what I mean? For a minute. But for them to co-sign her performance like that and be proud of the performance that she did, yeah, it speaks to the testament of the fact of you're passing down the torch. Not to say that they're gonna stop doing what they're doing. Don't get that twisted. It's more of like, this is the next generation, so pay attention. You get it. Anyway, let's read that for a second. Hold on.
Miami, make some noise for Doechii! Come on! Come on, Doechii!
Hold on.
Come on, sister! I want to introduce y'all to another sister, another beautiful sister. Miami, make some noise for Doechii!
Yay!
Come on! Come on, Doechii! Come on, y'all, make some noise!
His second verse is dedicated to the men. Turned by his rims and his Timbs and his women. Him and his men come in the club like hooligans. Don't care who they offend, popping, yeah. Let's not pretend that they pack pistols by the way, pack pistols by the case. This is their mother's basement. Kevin did it, him and that they did a kid. Need to take over their 3 or 4 kids. They face the court case with a child support. Like, when he take your heart breaking, now you put him on with the hate. Sit your silence there. Report the best about it. Quick to shoot the secret, stop acting like what's different. I just hope.
I promise you, when I say I promise you, I really want an official track with Doechii and Miss Lauryn Hill. Like, I feel like I need to hear it. Like, I said in the past, I want Little Sims and Doechii and SZA on the track. I still want that, by the way. You know what I mean? However, the Doechii and SZA one is inevitable because they're both signed to TDE. It's inevitable. But the Little Sims one, it may not be as inevitable, but it's possible to see. I think Doechii did admit that that she's working with Little Sims. I don't know what the truth is, but if that is the case, I'm here for it. You know what I mean? I'm fully here for it. So, like, when you think about, like, when you think about the whole when you think about when you think about the whole situation between like artists, I don't explain it. There's certain things about artists where you can just appreciate who they are as an artist, if that makes sense. You get it? Like it's like Scissor is in a place where you can only appreciate her artistry even more in what she's doing. You know what I mean? Doechii, you know what I mean? The fact that she won a Grammy for a mixtape, yeah, she's the first rapper, not even a female rapper. She's the first rapper to win a Grammy award at the for a mixtape. And the fact that Miss Lauryn Hill is able to co-sign her, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. You know what I mean? It's a big deal. If you don't know, now you know it. Let's go. Yeah, he's bowing down to great guy. Bowing down. Hold on. I don't know if you saw that. I don't know if you saw that. You know what? You're funny, yeah. Even Nicki Minaj did the same thing when she saw Miss Lauryn Hill. Do you know what I mean? So get me. Yeah, let's go. That thing, that thing, that thing, that thing. Okay, Miss Lauryn Hill and Kendrick Lamar, the only two artists in the world that can have a song, and then they remix the song live. Like, can we not enjoy the lyrics for what they are? Like, we practice in our room. Think we know they do. Then you do. Yeah, man. Shout out to Miss Lauryn Hill, and shout out to Doechii. Listen, if you're a fan of these two artists, I promise you it's best for you to subscribe to the channel. Like, I promise you it's best for you to subscribe to this channel because more reaction content is coming regards to songs similar to what they do, whether it's from them or someone else. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's coming. It's coming. Like, you know what I mean? It's coming. So I'm gonna let you know this from now, that when it comes down to music artists, there's certain artists that I can appreciate and I will always show appreciation to, and that's ones that have artistry like that, if that makes sense. Do you you get what I'm trying to say? Like, it's just one of those things. So bear with me. So I know I'm looking at my phone at the same time, but yeah, man. Shay, let's read the comments though. Let's see what people are saying. Daffing. All right, we're gonna like that. I don't think many people like. I mean, that's a comment, but it don't matter. Yeah, I'm gonna be the first one to leave a comment, bruv. It's fine. I can appreciate that. Shout out to who uploaded this still. Shout out to Tony Pierce. Get me? Shout you out each and every single time. Because it's good to it's good that we're actually witnessing this as well. Like, because let's be honest, you know how sometimes there'd be like there's always this, not always, but there's this notion that the older generation don't like the younger generation, and you know what I mean? Like, there's always that notion that's there, but it's not really like that. If you know, you know. Do you know what I mean? If they're gonna support you, they will support you. Plain and simple. Do you understand that? If they're gonna support you, they will support you. Like, for real, for real. Do you know what I mean? Like, give me a second. I know my mind, it may seem like it's on something else, but it really isn't. That thing. Cheers. Oh yeah. I listen. This is great to see because in life you inspire, and when you inspire, you never know who will be inspired by you. That don't make no sense. All right, I'm gonna put this way. This is great to see because although they are different, Doechii comes from the family tree of Miss Lauryn Hill. Same way Miss Lauryn Hill comes from Roberta Flack. Do you know what I mean? That, like, just to keep it as simple as that. Do you know what I mean? Just to keep it as simple as that. But anyway, let me know what your thoughts are on that particular cosign right there, that particular moment right there. Do you know what I mean? So, listen, for any, you know what, it irritates me when people say, "Oh, this is an industry plan. This is an industry. This is an industry plan. This is an industry." Like, what's wrong with you? Do you know what I mean? What's wrong with you? Like on a serious level, what's wrong with you? Why would you? I need to figure out why some people want to call it an industry plant. You understand that? That doesn't make sense to me, bruv. That doesn't make sense to me. Give me a second. I'm trying to make sure that I'm ahead of my time. Not ahead of my time, but yeah. All right. So yeah. Now we're gonna react to Good Credit. Anyway, not the song Good Credit. I've already reacted to that. So you know what I mean? That's on this channel, by the way. Not this channel, but on the channel you're watching this live stream from. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. Like I said, my name is Verstar, aka Alkebulan Trust Reacts, you can trust when it comes to all thing reaction. So we're going to react to what is Good Credit. Because, I mean, look, aside from the song Good Credit by Playboy Carti featuring, Kendrick Lamar, it's got me thinking, hang on, let's really think about this for a moment. Because finance is extremely important in the life that we're living in. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter where you're from. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter how you're raised. Do you understand? Like, finance is always going to be a big deal, right? So, and from what I know, you're going to need to have good credit. You know what I mean? So, let's just get into it right now. So, what is good credit? And then I'm going to do Martin Lewis. No Diddy. Yo. Get me. If I can actually find it. Is it this? Everything you need to know about credit scores with Martin Lewis. Alright, boom. This is it. Oh, I've got to be careful here. Gotta be careful. I just clocked. There you go. Let's use this one. Because I've got to be careful with certain sites, or not just particular sites, but YouTube channels. For example, the other one I was about to click on, I just realized, when they're tied to, I'm not doing it. This one, moneySavingExperts.com, get me. Let's go. Good credit. That's in my head.
You don't have a credit score in the UK or a credit rating.
Hang on. Did I begin watching this at one time and I forgot to stop? What? Wait. All right, listen. Anyway, let's keep moving. Let's hold on. Who is this other guy? Okay, it says how to build your credit score fast as a new UK. Okay, there's no such thing as building it fast. I'm gonna keep that. I'm not a fan. By the way, when I play this video, let them know I'm not a financial expert. If you want proper financial advice, then it's best to seek a financial expertise. This is why I am reacting to this video, because Martin Lewis in the United Kingdom is a finance expert. Clear, that's it. Yeah, when it comes to finance, he's the first person I literally think of. You know what I mean? So it's only right that I react to this. But let's keep it moving, because it's only like 2 minutes and 59 seconds, which is good. Short, simple, straight to the point, right? And plus, I don't want to bombard you with so much information in regards to finance as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know what it is. I know what it's like. Let's go.
Card, a mobile phone contract, a new bank account with an overdraft. Each company will credit score you. But
Run that by again. Run that by again.
When you apply for a loan, a credit card, a mobile phone contract, a new bank account with an overdraft, each company will credit score you. But many people struggle to understand exactly how that works. Now, the first thing to say is you don't have a credit score in the UK or a credit rating. There's no one number that dictates whether you'll be lent to. Every individual lender does it differently.
By the way, I might do two separate ones, yeah. Could credit, no, but might be separate ones in different countries by the seams of it. I'll do one in the UK, this for the UK version, and then I'll do one for the America version, the US version, and then if there's any other versions around the world, I'll try and look into that and react to that. For now, this is just UK version, because I'm, you know what I mean? That's where I'm based. And do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna, because if I'm reacting to something like this and there's some things I can relate to, I could be like, yeah, that makes sense. I can relate to that. You know what I mean? That's how I want it to be. It needs to be something like that. Yeah, let's go.
The ones you get from credit scoring agencies, well, they're just an indication of how a typical lender might see you. So don't sweat small moves with it. But I thought a little game might just try and help you understand how it works. Because credit scoring is pretty intuitive. It's all about trying to predict future behaviour based on the past. So let's play. You're at the pub. Someone has forgotten their credit cards and their phone and their payment watch, so they can't pay. And they ask you to lend them a tenner, saying they'll pay you back. So I want to know, would you lend them the tenner if A, they often do this, but every time they've done it in the past, they have always promptly repaid you without you even having to ask? Yeah. B, they often do this, but they have rarely in the past remembered to give you the money back. You have to chase, and it can be a real issue to get your tenner back. And C, well, they seem very, very nice, awfully nice, but you've never met them before, nor have any of your friends. So what do you think?
Leave your answer in the comments below, by the way. Me, what I would do, it would be A. And the reason why I would choose A is because of the fact that they are, even though they've done it in the past, but at the same time, because of their past behavior of borrowing money and then paying back the money without me asking, do you get it? That's why it would be that. I think, like, do you know what it is? When it comes down to, like, obviously, I know you used the pub, you said the pub as a reference. Listen, this is based in the UK here. You know what I mean? It could be any setting, like literally any setting. It could be like you could be in a college dorm or something, and your friend asks you for money, or someone else that's not your friend, but they go to the same college or uni or whatever. They could be asking you for money and stuff like that, and you know what I mean? Like it's things like that. It still can be relatable. You know what I mean? Regardless of whatever circumstance. So yeah, for me personally, it would be A, because that's how I'm thinking. Like, especially with everything I've gone through and understanding certain situations, it would be A. even whether and if I was in that situation where I needed the money, now that's a different story. How would I, what would my answer be then? I think that would be a good question. Like, what would your answer be in a conversation below if you were on the receiving end of, asking for the money? You know what I mean? And knowing how you are, which type of person are you? Be honest with yourself. Are you the type of person where they have to chase you for the money that you borrowed, or are you the type of person to borrow the money and then give it back when, like, especially when you can't, or let them know, I haven't got it yet, but I will give it to you. Just let them know. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you give it to them in a time span with interest. Sometimes you may not give it with interest. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. That's fine. Get me? If it's just a personal peer-to-peer, like friend-to-friend type of loan, but if it's like the bank and all these other places, no, you got to pay that interest. They don't play. Yeah, let's go.
I suspect your instincts are you'd be warm to the first, the one who's always done it before and always paid you back, cold to the second, the one who struggles to repay, and also cold to the third because you've never met them before.
Yeah.
If so, you are credit scoring like a bank. The first person is someone with a good...
I like that he said that. I'm credit scoring like a bank, Brad. Cold. Let's go.
Good credit history. They're a good credit citizen. The second...
Good credit. No, listen, whenever I hear anything about good credit, that intro is going to be in my head. Get me? Good credit. Let's go. Let's keep it moving. Let me rewind it for a second still. Shout out to Martin Lewis, man.
Like a bank. The first person is someone with a good credit history. They're a good back. Cold to the second, the one who struggles to repay, and also cold to the third because you've never met them before. If so, you are credit scoring like a bank.
Cold.
The first person is someone with a good credit history.
Yeah.
They're a good credit citizen. The second is someone with a poor credit history. They do not have a good history of repaying. The third is someone you have too little data on to assess, and that can lead to credit rejections too. Now, exactly what you should do if you've got a problem with poor credit, well, there are loads of tips and there's a full guide to it on moneysavingexpert.com. One of the catch-22s is you need credit to get credit.
Wait, we're going to run that by again because maybe I'm going to have to go onto that another day and figure that out. You know what? I feel like I need to react to more content like this. I won't even lie to you. If you want to see more content like this, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because I definitely want to do more content like this or react to more content like this because I'm learning in the process. And as an adult as well, I feel like this is information I should know anyway. Do you get it? Like I don't explain it. Life is, obviously they say life is what you make, yeah? But the reality is, even though, yeah, life is what you make it, it's like you have to, I don't want to say you have to know what you're doing, but you do kind of have to know what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, you do. Like, give me a second. Do you know what I mean? It's ironic because there's something I'm doing where I'm seeing it like a bank. Well, not like a bank. I'm seeing it as if I've got good credit and I'm making sure that, you know what I mean? Like, I'm using that wisely. I will explain it. If I can get sponsored by it, I can explain it properly, like what I'm doing. Yeah. But anyway, without further ado, let's keep it moving. I want to hear what he's got to say so I can do what's necessary. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's go.
The third is someone you have too little data on to assess, and that can lead to credit rejections too. Now, exactly what you should do if you've got a problem with poor credit, well, there are loads of tips and there's a full guide to it on moneysavingexpert.com. One of the catch-22s is you need credit to get credit. So how do you get credit?
I missed that.
Well, what you do is you get a special, and there's a full guide to it on moneysavingexpert.com. One of the catch-22s is you need credit to get credit. So how do you get credit? Well, what you do is you get a special credit rebuild credit card. You put 50 to 100 quid a month on it. You make sure you pay it off in full every month.
Hey, brother, nah. Wait, nah, I wasn't expecting that. I can't lie, that gave me a shock. That gave me a shock. I'm not even rewinding that. That gave me a shock. Man said, make sure you pay it off in full. That's how you build good credit. Basically, in fact, you know what's funny? The intro of good credit, he basically gave an example of what good credit is. If you know what I'm talking about, I'm not talking about this. I'm talking, well, obviously, yeah, but like I'm talking about what's his name? Playboy Carti and the Kendrick Lamar in good credit. You know what I mean? Yo, I listen.
That way, you won't be charged any interest as long as you've cleared the balance and never withdraw cash on it. And you do that for about a year, never spending more than you need. And as long as you haven't had credit problems elsewhere, it will either rebuild or build your credit history. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Do read the guide.
Shout out to Martin Lewis, bro. Shout him out each and every single time. I respect this guy for the fact that he's dedicated to his craft, yeah. And it's funny, I learned of this guy because ITV and stuff like that. No, him does it's ITV, right? Obviously, that says Good Morning Britain, yeah, but it was actually from that a different show. What was it called? It wasn't called Good Morning Britain. It was called something else. If you know the answer to the comments, below, leave the answer. But yeah, man. Because I'm pretty sure it was called Good. It wasn't called Good Morning Britain. It definitely wasn't. Because the Good Morning Britain thing is, I'm gonna subscribe right now. That's not even a joke. I need to. And make sure you subscribe to this channel as well. What was it even called? Let's see what people say in the comments stuff. Anyway. Bro, you need to give me a heart attack with the info. Hey, yo. Martin saying in full scared. Nah, for real though. Him saying it in full because he's talking in a certain tone, then out of nowhere. Like, let's see what else people are saying. Oh, get him on good, Martin. You frightened the life of me with your in full. Always expect it on your shows, but certainly didn't then. Anyway, getting back in the video, I'm sure you will have got a message across. In fact, I'm sure she said her hubby basically, and I will be paying everything in full in future. Very many thanks indeed, Martin. You're a gem. You're a diamond. You know what I mean? Listen. I'm gonna do it. Paying off in full. This is how you get good credit. Word to Playboy Carti and Kendrick Lamar. But this is information that truly children should learn. Should learn that prepare them for the real world when they come of age. You know what I mean? If you need, like, cause think about it. This information, let me know if you knew anything about this, whether you're from the UK or a different country, but did you know anything about this? Because even me, I learned something new. And now, obviously, yes, like, I'll be honest, there was a time when people were telling me about this credit stuff, and they were telling me if you do this, you'll have a bad credit rating, bad credit score, blah blah. But I was too, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't explain it, like, but it's like when you think about it, yeah, sometimes you do learn in trial and error, and you do have to, you will, if you don't learn or you don't hear, you're going to feel, and you're going to feel the consequences. And I felt the consequences. You know what I mean? But like by God's good grace, you get me? Things are. I'm not going to say I'm the most wealthiest man in the world, not just yet. But like, let me. I've got good credit, and may it stay that way. Amen, amen, amen. Like for real, for real. Like I'm just like it's just the fact of knowing how he said how he said you're thinking like a bank if you're thinking about, you know what I mean? And it kind of makes sense, you know what I mean? But anyway, let's just keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. But because obviously the reason why I obviously reacted to this was obviously because of the whole Drake situation, you know what I mean? Now bear with me for a second, yeah. What we're gonna do, I'm gonna see if I can find it properly. Hold on, I had it here. Okay, it's not going to take me. Give me a second, people. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are as well. Leave your answers in the comments below. And do you have a good credit, bad credit, credit, or is it medium? Well, let me know in the comments below. Just share your info. It's fine. Well, not that type of info. The type of info I'm talking about is just whether it's good or bad. Just it's okay. Actually, no, I know what I'm meant to go to. Good credit. Let's see. All right, so now, yeah. Give me a second, people. Music. Okay, there you go. So, by the way, my name is Vasa, aka the Alkebulan Trust, the name you can trust when it comes to all things reactions. And right now, I'm going to react to UMG Arts Court. All right, I'm going to react. Come on, man. I don't want notifications. I just want to see this. All right. Boom. All right. So, by the way, my name is Versatile, aka the Alkebulan Trust, a name you can trust when it comes to all things reactions. And right now, I'm going to react to Drake's Drake versus UMG. Do you know what I mean? And you know, look, UMG asked court to dismiss Drake's "Not Like Us" lawsuit. He has sued his own record label in a misguided attempt to salve his wounds. Never heard that word in my life, salve, but we move. So let's just get straight into it. By the way, if you are a Drake fan, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. If you're a Kendrick Lamar fan, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're a fan of music, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're a fan of law or anything legalese, you know what I mean? Hit the subscribe button. Let's go. And then also like, follow, share for more. But yeah, anyway, so Universal Music Group, UMG, has officially filed a motion asking the court to dismiss a defamation lawsuit brought by superstar rapper Drake. I don't know about rapper, but superstar. I don't know about superstar. Define superstar. To me, he's popular. Don't get it twisted, but it's not. I wouldn't say he's a superstar. Do you know what I mean? There's different lanes of superstar. I can explain that in a different video if you want me to, but that he's not a superstar. Anyway, Drake sued UMG for defamation in January, accusing UMG of promoting a false and malicious narrative about him via the content of the lyrics, single artwork, and music video for Kendrick Lamar's hit single and Drake diss track, Not Like Us. They not like us. They not like us. The music company argues in its motion, filed on Monday, March the 17th, that Drake's complaint is utterly without merit and should be dismissed with prejudice. UMG writes in its court filings obtained by Music Business Worldwide, and which you can read in full here, that Drake, one of the most successful recording artists of our time, lost a rap battle, and he provoked he provoked and in which willingly participated. He did provoke. Anyone who says he didn't provoke, he did. Why do you think Kendrick Lamar said in that song with Playboy Cartable, one of the three songs, in Good Credit, he actually says drop. They mentioned that drop. I can't remember how to do it again. Drop. Basically, he's taking drop. Basically, he's taking the mick out of Drake, academics, all the Drake fans. You know what I mean? Hey, listen. Even Kendrick Lamar fans were saying to drop. Do you know what I mean? Like, we were waiting. So that's neither here or there. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like sometimes when it comes down to it, you can't poke a bear not and then not and tell the bear not to attack you. You know what I mean? That's just, you know what I mean? Obviously, sometimes you can poke him. I'm not gonna say you can't, but you don't know how the player's gonna react. Basically, you know what I mean? If it reacts the way it normally would react, it is what it is. I won't say you are for it, but the reality is, if you don't know what's gonna happen, you don't know what's gonna happen. And the thing is, Drake knew what was gonna happen in terms of a battle was gonna happen. You know what I mean? And if you're calling yourself a rapper, then all right, cool. Show that you're a rapper. Anyway, let's get into the lawsuit real quick. I'm gonna try and breeze through this as quickly as possible. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna try. Yeah. So hit the subscribe button. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. If I could even scroll down. Good credit. Anyway, so United States District Court. Okay, we don't gonna read that. That's unnecessary. But you already know he was against. We're gonna skip all that right there. We're gonna skip all that right there. We're gonna skip all that right there. We're gonna skip all right. Skip it. Oh, here we go. All right. So, yeah, I want it all. That's why I strive for it. Diss me, you'll never hear a reply for it. Drake in Successful. Oh, they said we're bringing receipts. You know, in the words of Whitney, show me the receipts. The irony. Whitney Houston, Whitney, because Kendrick Lamar's wife's name is Whitney, and the fact that Drake mentioned Whitney in. Oh, all right, listen. Let me break this down for you. I don't think you understand. I just kind of clocked. Because obviously, I knew, obviously, yeah, you're talking about, if you know, you know, I'm not going to go too deep into it because, yeah, it's just, and then he did mention Whitney Houston. Drake mentioned Whitney Houston. And he only deals with Millie Bobby Brown's like Whitney or whatever he said. I don't know. All right, Plaintiff, one of the most successful recording artists of all time. That's arguable. It's arguable only because we're living in a streaming era, and how do you define success? Do you know what I mean? How do you define success as a recording artist? How? I just leave your answer comments below. How would you define it? Like, we know for a fact Michael Jackson is the greatest recording artist of all time. That's a fact. That's undisputed. You can't deny that. The album Thriller basically changed the whole landscape of the music industry. That's a fact. I'm not saying Drake hasn't done anything to change the landscape of music, because I do not know. But for a particular generation, yes, it's changed some of their lives. I will never dispute that, because that's just how music is and that's how inspiration goes. But as far as on a global scale, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I don't know how to say it. That's just it is what it is. But anyway, so lost a rap battle that he provoked and in which he willingly participated in instead of accepting the loss, like the unbothered rap artist, like he often claims to be. He has sued his own record label, in a misguided attempt to salve his owns. Plaintiff's complaint is utterly without merit and should be dismissed with prejudice. Introduction. All right. In the spring of 2024, two of the most popular recording artists in the world, Kendrick Lamar and Aubrey Drake Graham, plaintiff, engaged in a high-profile rap battle. Over the course of approximately 2 months, they exchanged increasingly veridical and incendiary. I'm seeing words I've never seen in my life. Anyway, diss tracks, sometimes responding within hours of each other. Yeah, it literally within hours of each other. Like hours. I couldn't keep up. I had to listen. I was delayed, bruv. I'm not gonna lie, I was delayed. But it's fine. It's up there for you to on my other channel, and you can watch that. It's still there, so it's all good. It's all good. Where was I? So Drake encouraged the feud. For example, when he felt that Lamar was taking too long to respond, Drake released a second recording in which he goaded Lamar to continue the public rap battle. Lamar did just that, and collectively, Drake and Lamar released a total of 9 tracks, taking aim at each other. Multiple commentators declared Lamar to be the winner of the battle. Facts. Not like us, the penultimative, I can't say that word, allow me, track in the feud is the subject of the complaint. The recorded and music video was released by Lamar through defendant UMG on May 4th, 2024. Not Like Us was massive commercial and artistic success. The record was the best-selling rap record of 2024 and won a Grammy Award. Record of the Year, and the accompanying music video won a Grammy Award. Best music video. The song for Not Like Us won the Grammy Award for the Song of the Year and became the ubiquitous cultural phenomenon. Among other things, Lamar performed the song at 2025 Super Bowl halftime show to record audience, and Saturday Night Live parodied in the recent 50th anniversary special. All right, so Not Like Us, all of the recordings in the feud between Drake and Lamar, and like the many notorious diss tracks throughout rap's history, consist of serious hyperbolic insults. I shout out to the lawyer to their attorneys in this. Their rebuttal dismissed. You can dismiss the fact that the fact that I mentioned many notorious diss tracks throughout rap's history consists of a series of hyperbolic insults. So it's not uncommon. You understand? It's not uncommon at all. All right. Drake has been pleased to use UMG's platform to promote tracks leveling similarly incendiary attacks. Lamar included most significantly that Lamar engaged in domestic abuse and that one of Lamar's business partners and managers is the true father of Lamar's son. But now, after losing a rap battle, Drake claims that Not Like Us is defamatory. It's not. It is not. And I hear police sirens. I kid you not, I hear police sirens as I read that. But anyway, wait. It disregards other Drake and Lamar. Anyway, while the complaint focuses entirely on Not Like Us, it disregards the other Drake and Lamar diss tracks that surrounded Not Like Us, as well as conventions of the diss track genre, and thus critically ignores the context of the dispute. Assessed in context, it must be Not Like Us clearly conveys non-actionable opinion and rhetorical hyperbole. Diss tracks are popular and celebrated art form centered around outrageous insults, and they would be severely chilled if Drake's suit was permitted to proceed. Drake also alleged that Not Like Us constitutes second-degree harassment, but sues under a criminal statute that does not prescribe speech and has no private right of action. Finally, Drake claims UMG promotion Not Like Us violates New York general business law for 349, but fails to allege any of the elements for that claim. Notably, less than 3 years ago, Drake himself signed a public petition criticizing the trend of prosecutors. I said this. I literally said this when I was reacting to his lawsuit, the actual filing that he made. I literally said it. Drake signed a petition that you can't use lyrics in a court. Now you want to use lyrics in a court. Come on, man. Come on. Anyway, notably less than 3 years ago, Drake himself signed a public petition criticizing the trend of prosecutors using artists and creative expressions against them by treating rap lyrics as a literal fact. See UMG's request for judicial notice, RGN X, as a Drake recognized when it comes to rap, the final work is a product of artist vision and imagination. Drake was right then and is wrong now. The complaint and justified claims against UMGs are no more than Drake's attempt to save face for an unsuccessful rap battle with Lamar. The court should grant UMG's motion to dismiss the complaints with prejudice. I like the fact that they're just saying, no, we like dismiss. This is the reason why you should dismiss. Dismiss. This is the reason why, and furthermore, you know what I mean? Like, and furthermore, furthermore, they're just going. Anyway, statements of facts. The parties defending UMG's global music company, 26 UMG represents more than 220 artists and brands worldwide and holds a catalog of more than 3.2 million recordings. UMG represents artists through inter alia recording distribution, publishing, and third-party license agreements, and helps to maximize the commercial success through its world-class marketing, proprietary data analytics, and global distribution networks. Drake is an internationally known rap artist. Drake signed with UMG through UMG Republic Division in 2009 and extended his contract in 2022. Drake's partnership with UMG has been hugely successful. He's one of the best-selling music artists of all time, with over 170 million albums sold. I mean, Michael Jackson's basically sold like more than that for one particular album, by the way. And that's just physical sales, by the way. So when you're talking about the most successful selling artist, that's the level we're going to. Then even Whitney Houston, she is one of the most successful selling artists of all time as well. Michael Jackson obviously number one, but then other than that, you're looking at Whitney Houston, Janet Jackson. You're looking like there's certain artists. I'm just, it is what it is. Maybe it's because I'm from a different era and I can just see things for what they are. If he said in the streaming era, you know what I mean? Although 2009 isn't really a streaming era, but he had the leverage of Lil Wayne, but not only to have the leverage of Lil Wayne, he had the leverage of Nicki Minaj and also Rihanna, but he also leveraged the fact of his other side of him, if that makes sense. I'm not going to talk too much on what it is, but if you know, you know. So that also helped. Just saying. I'm just saying. Anyway, all right, so, and a series of awards accolades, including Billboard Music Artist of the Decade in 2021. Anyway, never mind. UMG also represents Lamar through UMG's Interscope division. Lamar is also highly successful artist in his own right. Drake and Lamar engaged in a vitriolic rap feud. Not Like Us is Not Like Us. The recording at the center of this action was released part of a rap beef between Drake and Lamar. The artist feud reportedly traces origins back more than a decade. You see, I like the way this attorney is breaking it down. They're breaking it all the way down. This case is going to get dismissed. And if I'm wrong, I will come back and say I'm wrong. Yeah? But listen, I know I'm not wrong because you have to understand, if they are given a full fact, and listen, these are facts. These are facts. Anyway, I mean, it's arguable to say record not, but you see, I like the way they're doing that. It's like a backhanded compliment at the same time. You know what I mean? Where was I? All right, so, but broke into public domain in early 2024 when Drake and Lamar began trading diss tracks, sometimes within the same hour. Excuse me. All right, so where was I? Drake and Lamar's feud was not unique in the world of rap feuds. Facts, where artists trade diss tracks insulting each other, existed pretty much since the beginning of rap. Facts. In the 1970s, a member of a storied feuds have occurred throughout rap history, including Roxanne Wars. Oh my days! This case is getting dismissed. This case is getting dismissed. Roxanne Shante, come to the stand, please. Roxanne Shante, come to and I was talking about Big Daddy Kane earlier as well, yeah. And the joke is, you know what I mean? Oh man, Roxanne Shante, you know what I mean? She's part of an iconic group with Big Daddy Kane, man. Oh my days. Listen, I'm actually astonished in what I'm reading here. Like, you know what's funny? Because that first year, when I'm going to react to this particular situation, I thought, let me just go through things. And I realized, no, let me go through the actual the court documents. It just makes more sense because you get a clear picture of what really is happening. Because don't get it twisted. You can. Anyway, let's just stay focused. So yeah, Roxanne was involving Roxanne Sante and the rap group UTFO, as well as feuds between Nas and Jay-Z, Lil Kim and Foxy Brown, Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj. The fact that they brought in Nicki Minaj and Nicki Minaj didn't sue Megan Thee Stallion. Anyway, Drake is a prolific rap feud combatant, having traded diss tracks with a number of artists, including Pusha T and Meek Mill. Aye, back-to-back lyrics, Drake diss track and Meek Mill feud. Dubby freestyle lyrics, Drake diss track in and Pusha T feud. The public feud between Drake and Lamar traces back to the October 2023 recording First Person by Drake and J. Cole, in which J. Cole rapped that he, Drake, and Lamar were the big three, the top three rappers in the industry. First Person lyrics in the response, Lamar appeared on March 2024 track Like That with artist Future and Metro Boomin, in which he rejected the notion and that Drake and J. Cole were his equals, rapping Mother the Big Three. Nigga, oh yeah, Ninja, it's just big me. You know what I mean? Drake responded in April 2024 with a track Push-Ups distributed by UMG. Push-Up lyrics. The recording takes aim at Lamar insulting. He's hyped. How the F you big stepping with a size 7 men on and pick sweet pipe down. You ain't been on no big three. See, this is the thing. I thought that diss track was genuinely all right. If you go back to my reaction to that, I thought it was all right. Was it going to be enough for him to go against Kendrick Lamar? No, I knew it wouldn't. Like, I just knew it wouldn't be enough. But sometimes you can have a slow burner and then, you know what I mean? But I get it. And let's be real, it was a bop. So it could have worked. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes all it takes is a bop. Do you know what I mean? I mean, that's not how to win a rap battle, by the way. Just make bops. But I'm just saying it helps. Because Not Like Us is a bop in comparison to Meet the Grahams and 616 in LA and Euphoria. Like, in comparison, like, there's like those tunes are straight battle raps. It's especially Meet the Grahams. Meet the Grahams? Nah. Meet the Grahams is a different type of. It's different. Anyway, where was I? So yeah, we ain't got to read the lyrics. The lyrics are right. No, let's read it. And I'm the top of the mountain. Just have to talk with you. I had to hike down. He also encouraged few stating, and that effing song, y'all, God did not start the beef with us. That been brewing in the pot. I'm heating up. This seemingly impatient with the time, it was taking Lamar to respond. Drake released Tailor Made freestyle on Instagram. The recording uses artificial intelligence to make it sound as if the voices of deceased rap icon Tupac Shakur and rapper Snoop Dogg were rapping Drake's lyrics in their voices. Drake taunts Lamar with his delay, more notably for the present purposes, Drake urged Lamar in the voice of Tupac to talk about Drake liking them young girls on Lamar's next track. I told you this is what's gonna happen. I told you. Look, I already said it. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Everything that Drake is doing is going to backfire on him. And I'm not saying that because I want bad for the guy. No, 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 no. I don't want bad on anyone. But the fact of the matter is, the reality is, if you do harm to others, harm will be done to you, right? So yeah, that's that part there. Anyway, let's keep it moving. So so if you deal with this viciously, you seem a little nervous about all the publicity. If this Canadian light skin, dot, we need to no debut West Coast victory. Victory man, call him a for me. Talk about him like him young girls. That's a gift from me. Heard it on the bottom podcast. It's gotta be true. In the voice of Snoop Dogg, Drake then calls on Lamar to release a new diss track. But still, you got to show this effing Al, who's the boss of the West. Now it's time to really make a power move, because right now it's looking like you're writing out the game plan on how to lose, how to bark up the wrong tree. Then you get your head popped in the crowd room. World is watching this chess game, but you are out of moves. But are you? But are you out of moves? And then in his own voice, Drake's raps. Like that your tone changed a little. You're not as exhausted. How you not in the booth? It feel like you're kind of removed. You're trying to let this die down. So you're trying to whoa, trying to let this die. I can't even say it. You're trying to let this down. Nah. Not this time. You're following through. I guess you need another week to figure out how to improve. What the F is taking long? We're waiting on you. Lamar responded with 2 tracks: Euphoria, released by UMG on April the 30th, followed by 616 in LA, released by Lamar on Instagram on May the 3rd. Lamar raps of Drake in Euphoria. The famous acts we once knew is looking paranoid and now spiraling. A pathetic master manipulator. I can smell the tells in you now. You're not a rap artist, you're a scam artist with the hopes of being accepted. He criticized his Drake music. I make music that electrify him. You make music that pacify him. Attacks his use of Tupac's voice in tailor-made freestyle. I'm ready to double the wage. I'd rather do that than let Canadian make Park turn in his grave. Attacks his parenting. I got a son to raise, but I can see you don't know nothing about that. Know nothing about that. And insults his character and racial identity. I hate the way you walk. I hate the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. I hate the way that you sneak this. If I catch flight, it's gonna be direct. How many fairy tales stories about your life till you had enough? How many black features till you finally feel that you're black enough? That bar is different. It hits like even reading it back, it just hits different. Lamar insults continue at 616 LA, where he raps the members of Drake's OVO teams are disloyal. However, so have you ever thought OVO is working for me? Fake bully, I hate bullies. You must be a terrible person. Everyone inside your team is whispering that you deserve it. Like he needs to release that tune. Irrespective of it being a diss track, that tune, that rhythm is cold. It's too cold. That Al Green sample. Al Green cleared the sample, bro. Even if it's not about that, I guess it's just is what it is, isn't it? But anyway, doesn't matter. Let's keep moving. Where was I? Drake responded approximately 14 hours later on the evening of May 3rd with the track "Family Matters," distributed by UMG. The track is a scathing attack on Lamar's laden and hyperbolic slurs. Drake attacks, amongst other things, Lamar's authenticity. You're just acting like an activist it's make believe. Moxie's height. He always said I overlooked him. I was staring straight. These bars go over Kenny head no matter what I say. States that Lamar cheats on his fiance. Why did you move to New York? Is it because you haven't your wait? Is it because you're living that bachelor life? Proposed in 2015, but don't want to make her an actual wife. I'm guessing this wedding ain't gonna happen, right? Because we know the girls that you actually like. Your darkest secrets are coming to light. That's actually, despite that being defamation of character, that actually is a bar. I can't even front. Do you know what I mean? Making it seem like he likes lighter women, but not. I mean, his wife is light skinned anyway, but like white women basically. But anyway, that's how I took that. I could be wrong, but yeah. Um, I'm gonna give him some credit. You know what I mean? But the rest of the diss track, it was just awful to me. I'll be honest. But in fact, not necessarily. You know what? It's on the other channel. You can react. You can watch that reaction video at your leisure. Where was I? So, day 3. So yeah. So, and it searched that one of Lamar's children was fathered by one of the business partners and managers. Day 3, your baby mama captures always screaming, "Save me! You did her dirty all your life. You're trying to make peace." I heard that one of your little kids might be day 3. See, I remember that part because that's why Kendrick decided, you know what, safe a minor. Do you get it? That's why. And I swear he said that he held that note in a minor key. If you know, you know. Like I swear he did. Leave your answer in the comments below. If you are a true music head, you will understand the tonality of what I'm talking about. When Drake released that, but then when Kendrick released Not Like Us, like what key was both of them in? You know what I mean? Drake might be hard to really tell because he's more monotone, but like it obviously when he does day 3, that still technically is in a minor tone. It actually is. So I'm assuming as well that Kendrick one is also in a minor tone, and whether that's intentional or not, there you go. Um, where was I? So I don't make it don't make it day 3 because if your GM is your BM, so it could be this all making me plenty effing sense to me. Drake raps that Lamar's physically abusing his fiance, stating, "When you put your hands on your girl, it's self-defense because she's bigger than you." They hired a crisis management team to clean up the fact that you beat your queen. The recording or also makes various other allusions to violence, including G violence. Drake opens that he's emptied the clip over friendlier jabs, asks which one of so-called Nita's shell for the shell from the clip, and raps, "Come get this whooping, I'm handing them out." The track closes with Drake's stating, "You're no, there's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to hide." Multiple, so also sound to various points of the recording. You see, and it's so interesting that the attorneys of UMG are saying this. It's not Kendrick Lamar saying this. It's not anyone from Kendrick Lamar saying Kendrick Lamar's team saying this from PG Lang. Do you understand? It's the UMG's attorney saying, you know what, safe. If you want to say lyrics are against you about certain whatever, all right, come, watch this. This is why this should be dismissed. This is why. Like, I'm not a judge, I'm not a lawyer, you know what I mean? But I would dismiss this case. Like, I ain't even got to read, like, just from the first paragraph alone. In fact, the part that when they mentioned about the rap's history, and then if you look at the fact of rap's history, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm dismissing it. Like, I'm dismissing it. But then now I want to be like, now you need to prove that everything that was said about you was defamation. If you can prove that, here's what it is. If you can prove it. Anyway, so I'm intrigued to know what else this court document says as well. Very, very intrigued. Because they're literally going in. I'm not saying I didn't expect it to go in like this, but I didn't expect this. I just didn't. Lamar responds with two more back-to-back tracks: "Meet the Grahams," followed by "Not Like Us." In "Meet the Grahams," released approximately 30 minutes after "Family Matters," Lamar directs his insults various members of Drake's immediate family to Drake himself. "Not Like Us" was released on May 4th. Like the diss track before "Not Like Us," consists of hyperbolic insults. Lamar calls Drake names. "Why you trolling like? Ain't you tired?" And "It was God's plan to show you a liar." See, I've been telling you this. Anyway, mocks Drake's OVO brand and image. What OVO's for? The other vaginal options? Personally, sorry. What's the owl bird and the bird bit? Anyway, makes hyperbolic threats of violence. So, you think that boy gonna let you disrespect Pop? I think Oakland gonna be your last stop. Attacks Drake's personal relationships, including alleging that Drake had relations with rapper Lil Wayne's girlfriend, effed Wayne girl, he was in jail, that was conniving, and calls him an effing colonizer, inferring Drake's exploits of other artists for fame and financial benefit. That part. You see, I like the way they broke that part down just so simply, because that's exactly what it is. Inferring Drake, he calls so infer, and calls him an effing colonizer, inferring Drake exploits other artists for fame and financial benefits. Do you know what I mean? They could have went in a bit further and said, inferring to the fact that Drake used it, but the fact that he says other artists, because now that can allude to other people. Do you know what I mean? Like, I promise you, there's a tune with I don't know if I reacted to it, but it's called Goofy, and it's a diss track to Drake by Dirty Dogs, aka Dirty Goods, aka OG Roots. If you know, you know. But basically, yeah, he basically did a diss song to Drake, and he called Drake a colonizer. You know what I mean? This was years before the beef between the 2024 basically. There was a time anyway. I won't go too deep into it, but it was the time when Wiley and Drake were going back and forth. If you know, you know. Um. Anyway, taking up Drake's invitation in tailor-made freestyle. Talk about Drake liking them young girls. Lamar makes various statements at issues in their complaint, including, "Say Drake, I hear you like him young. You better never go to cell block 1. To any that talk up to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from them. And why you trolling like, and you tired? You try to suck a chord and it's probably a minor." Hey, listen. He also raps, and back got a weird case. Why he still around? Certified lover boy, certified what? Hey, listen. Anyway, and states your homeboy needs a subpoena. The predator moving flocks. Then that name got to be registered and placed on neighborhood watch. I mean, Drake responded the following day with the Heart Part 6. The Drake doubled down on his statements that one of Lamar's children was fathered by Mr. Free, and why is it Whitney denying all of the allegations? Why is she following Dave Free and not Mr. Morale? Dave leaving heart emojis underneath pics of the child, and like if Dave really your girl got her pregnant. Talk about breeding resentment, um, and reiterates his claim of the domestic abuse. I don't want to fight with a woman be a future nature. And that bar is a bar in itself. Because even if that is defamation of character, by the way, but like you think about it. So now you're calling yourself a woman now? Basically, am I wrong for just thinking that? Because even when I first initially reacted to it, you can watch it as well on the other channel, my other channel, the Alkebulan Trust channel. I promise you, I said the same thing. That's what it. Well, I may have said something similar, but that's what it feels like, huh? What do you mean? Even the tone. Anyway, let's keep moving. Because other things to react to. It featured. Okay, where was that? Drake states that he expected the alleged defamatory statements in Not Like Us This Epstein angle was ish I expected. TikTok videos you collected and dissected and denied and denies them. Only Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's. Never look twice at no teenager. Like that's what I was talking about earlier. You know what I mean? That part. But meanwhile, Drake has loads of songs referring to teenagers. In fact, his TV show Euphoria is about teens. Anyway, we move. That's why the initial diss track was called Euphoria, by the way. Do you know what I mean? Everything is for a reason. Like Kendrick is a genius. Not Like Us is a massive commercial and artistic success, and I like how they put it in bold. Lamar widely perceived to have won the rap feud. Ultimately, I do think Kendrick did come out on a superior end of the quarrel. Yo, listen. Are you gonna have a court case here? Hold on. How is the court case gonna be about defamation of character, defamation lawsuit? Yeah, and how the label is actually using practices to promote and basically favor basically Drake over favor Kendrick Lamar over Drake, right? It's like, how are you doing that and now saying this? If I was Drake, which I'm not, thank God I'm myself, yeah, like I'd be like, got him. You know what I mean? That would be that moment. But other than that, it's still yeah, it's evident that Kendrick won. Like it's just too evident. I don't explain it. Like winning a rap battle isn't as easy as you may think it is. Because some may say it doesn't mean that if you win a rap battle, your career is over. That's not the case, all right? There's a misconception. There's only a few to the exception when it comes to that. You know what I mean? And that their careers may never be as successful on the mainstream level again. It depending on the artist and depending on where they are in their careers. But that's neither here or there, isn't it? Because Jay-Z lost to Nas, but still released new music, got number one albums. Again, he's got number one songs. He writes for, his wife. You know what I mean? He helps. Like, it doesn't stop someone being successful. Like, I don't understand why. Anyway, it's the same thing with 50 Cent versus Officer Ricky as well. It's like Officer Ricky's still successful, by the way. You know what I mean? Music, he still made good music after that as well. That's why he won. Well, he didn't win, but why it perceived to have not lost to 50, but he lost that battle. But like music, it's hard to explain, but you get the point what I mean. Anyway, we can say Kendrick has won. New Yorker article asking here, has there ever been a clear loser as Drake? Damn. New York Times article noted Lamar's unofficially winning high-profile diss war with Drake, Not Like Us, has also been a massive commercial and artistic success, has been, heard or viewed by nearly 6 billion times. All of them by me. All right? No, obviously not. But anyway, and was because I promise you, I was literally the moment it came out, it's been on my workout playlist. Literally, I could not. If I'm on a treadmill, I'm playing it, like literally. And if it's funny because before that there was another diss track that was on my playlist like consistently, yeah, and I had to play it when I was on a treadmill, which was this song from Nole. Do you know what I mean? When I think about it, do you know what I mean? Anyway, how does the song go again? Yeah, it's rent free. I've been living in your head rent free. Hey, listen, Nole. Hey, no, hey. Anyway. And was the best selling rap song of 2024. it set multiple records, including most single-day streams for a rap song in the US, the fastest song to reach 300 million Spotify streams, and the most streamed song in a 7-day period, 96 million streams within the first week of its release. Not Like Us debuted at number one, and by the way, it was number one for 2 weeks in a row in the UK after the initial release. So what are we saying? And it's still in the top five. And that's like months after the initial release. That really is saying something. How big the song really genuinely is. Within the first week of its release, so Not Like Us debuted at number one on the Billboard's Hot 100 list and ranked first on YouTube's weekly top music video chart from July 4th to August 8, 2024. It has maintained its popularity. On October 7th, 2024. Billboard reported the recording had reached 45.4 million in total audience impressions on radio. It's also been used in over 1,300,000 videos on TikTok. 120. That name, I'm not going to mention the name, deemed it the biggest moment in the music this year. We don't care about their opinion, I'm going to be honest. The song recorded and the video of Not Like Us was collectively nominated for 5 Grammy Awards as voted by over 13,000 music industry peers, including Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Best Rap Performance, Best Rap Song, and Best Music Video, and won in all 5 categories. Somebody get the broom out. Shout out, Mustard. Anyway, argument, legal standard. To survive a motion to dismiss under Rule 12, a complaint must plead enough facts to state the claim to relief that is plausible on its face. See Bell Atlantic versus Twombly. The court can credit only well-pleaded non-conclusory facts. Allegations must disregard legal conclusions. Ashcroft versus Iqbal. In certain circumstances, the court may permissibly consider documents other than complaint in the ruling on a motion under Rule 12. Roth versus Jennings, such as documents incorporated into the complaint by reference and matters of which a court may take judicial notice. Bellin versus Zucker. Cleaned up to see also Kramer versus Time Warner Incorporated. The latter category includes the fact that press coverage contained information. Steyer versus Hartford FinServ Group, as well as other public available documents. Also, Peruzzo versus Bumblebee Foods. They are going in. They done their research and they said, you know what? Safe. This, you're not. Anyway, courts will therefore often take judicial notice or documents that provide the necessary context for a defamation claim. Bob Ulinsky versus Tarlov. Courts in the district have observed that there is a particular value in resolving defamation claims in pleading stage so as not to protract litigations through discovery and trial and thereby chill the exercise or constitutionally protected freedom. Definitively found versus New York Times. That is in defamation cases Rule 12.6b, 12b6 not only protects against the cost of meritless litigation, but provides assurance to those exercising their First Amendment rights that doing so will not needlessly become prohibitively expensive. Byro versus Condé Nast. Drake fails to state a claim for defamation. Wow. Okay, this is interesting. Drake, who had no concerns using UMG's platform to publish slurs. See, look, Drake, who had no concerns using UMG's platform to publish slurs about Lamar during their rap feud, now claims that Not Like Us is defamatory. These allegations, which are directly aimed at a Chilean legitimate artistic expression safeguarded by the First Amendment and New York law, People X Arcana Cloud versus Cloud Books, are meritless, and Drake fails to state a claim for defamation because Not Like Us conveys non-actionable opinions and rhetorical hyperbole, not fact, and because Drake cannot adequately allege that UMG acted with actual malice. To succeed on a defamation claim, Drake must establish a defamatory statement of concerning the plaintiff, publication to a third party, fault and falsity of the defamatory statement. Special damages per actionably, Rapport versus Barstool Sports. Whereas Rappaport, as in Michael Rappaport. Seriously, okay. Anyway, maybe, no, I'm joking. I could say maybe get out Drake up, but even he's against Drake doing this. Whereas, as far as I remember, anyway, whereas here the plaintiff is a public figure, he must prove that the allegedly defamatory statement was made with actual malice, that is made with knowledge of its falsity or reckless disregard of whether it was false. Bobulinski, okay. The alleged defamatory material is non-actionable opinion and rhetorical hyperbole. To be defamatory, a publication must convey fact, not opinion or rhetorical hyperbole. See Steinberg versus Halfons. Expressions of opinions as opposed to assertions of fact, deemed privileged and no matter how offensive, cannot be subject of an action for defamation. Man versus Abel. Whether a statement is a fact or opinion is a question of the law for the court. Rappaport, see also definitively found. Question of fact versus opinion is appropriately raised as a motion of dismiss stage to distinguish assertion of facts from a non-actionable opinion. New York counts analyze whether the specific language in use has a precise meaning which is readily understood, whether the statement are capable of being proven true or false, and whether either full context of the communication in which the statement appears or the broader social context surrounding the circumstances are such signal readers to all listeners that what is being read or heard is likely an opinion or fact. Bryan versus Richardson. At its crux, question for court resolve of the matter of the law. What is a reasonable person hearing or reading the statement would take it to mean? Steiner. In this assessment, context is key. Facts. The Court of Appeals of New York has consistently focused its analysis on overall context in which the complaint of assertions were made. Right? All right. So Rappaport, this includes both immediate context in which the dispute would appear, as well as larger context in which statements were published, including the nature of the particular form. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna try and not say this person by this person, but basically that's what it is. Courts must look to the tone of the communication, its apparent purpose, and setting in which it was made. That's how this is going to be dismissed. The settings which it was made was in a rap battle. The history of rap battle is what it is. There is that case where the reality is certain things are going to be said about one another. Whether they're facts or false, is what it is. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Anyway. Like, how do you even come back from this, man? Seriously. This includes both immediate. Okay, yeah, we read that. All right. So, a statement and tone and apparent purpose may signal that it's conveying an accurate factual assessment offered by disinterested observer, Rappaport 2000. Okay. For example, a tone may indicate non-actionable opinion where it reflects a degree of anger and resentment. All right. So where the tenor is rambling, hated, or speculative, or often escalates it into a hyperbolic, or where a statement invokes apparently loose or figurative language. All right. So likewise, the broader context informs whether a statement is reasonably understood to convey factual assertions. Even apparent statements of fact may assume character statements of opinion when made in public debate, heated labor, dispute, or circumstances in which an audience may anticipate use of epithets, theory, rhetoric, hyperbole. Statements in a letter to the editor are deemed not actionable because the common expectation of a letter to the editor is not that it will serve as a vehicle of rigorous or comprehensive presentation of factual matter, but as one principally for the expression of an individual opinion. All right. So, alleged defamation statements, shock talk. Hosts did state a claim of defamation as they would not be taken reasonable listeners' factual pronouncements, but simply as expressions of views in the crude, hyperbolic manner that has over the years become their verbal stock in trade, consistent with the observation New York courts routinely um, hold the tone and context, render allegedly defamatory publication non-actionable. Allegation the plaintiff was involved in an illegal conspiracy non-actionable because they were published on op-ed pages where their common expectation the article will contain considerable hyperbole speculation, diverse forms of expressions and opinions because of the predominant of the article, which rife with rumor, speculation, and seemingly tenuous inferences furnished clues to the reasonable reader. The article was something less than serious, subject to reportage. A statement alleging a permit application was as fraudulent as you can get. It smells okay. It seems like they're going into other people's cases, but just giving like a snippet to let you understand this is how defamation cases are. You know what I mean? So if he really wants to take it there, all right, calm. Let's take it there because it really is a case where you know what I mean. Like this is easily dismissible, easily. The first paragraph, in my opinion, was straight dismissible. And as soon as I mentioned about the history of rap beefs or the history of hip hop in general, it was saying, and I mentioned about the Roxanne Wars and Roxanne Shante, boom, right there and then it's over, dismiss. But now they, you know what I mean, and if Drake wants to appeal, he can appeal, but he's gonna have to appeal and prove with facts that everything that was said about him was defamation. If you can't prove that, you know what I mean, and he may just do that. Knowing Drake, he may just do that. He may just do that, and it will. Well, I don't know. I can't speculate. I don't want to. I don't even want to speculate. I don't want to. I just feel like this is going into a territory where, yeah, I don't think we ain't seen nothing yet. We ain't seen nothing yet. Yeah, me. Uh, the recent case. Well, okay. All right, so particularly instructive, the actor Michael Rappaport, I knew it was Michael Rappaport, there's only one Rappaport that I know, alleged that the statements by Barstool accusing him of the inter alia having abusing his ex-girlfriend with several statements in their 6 minute diss track in with defendants a constant stream of insults, slurs, Rappaport against a backdrop of flattering video clips and images where defamatory report 2021. Anyway, the statements are the district court rejected the claim as a matter of law. The statements are largely laid on an epithet of vulgarity, hyperbole, and non-literal language and imagery delivered in a mixture public and very, acrimonious dispute between the Barstool and defendant and Rappaport that would have been obvious to even the most casual observer and published on social media blogs and sports talk radio, and which are all platforms where audience reasonably anticipate hearing opinion statements. The Second Circuit affirmed, okay, uh, we're going to just brief through this. All right, so these conclusions apply equally considered in context as required, not like us conveys hyperbole and opinions, not facts. Looking first to the tone, the 4.5 minute rap diss track consists of a series of epithet, theory, rhetoric, hyperbole, um, the endemic to the rap game. Not surprisingly, given the context, the recording reflects considerable degree of anger and resentment, um, and exaggerated rhetorical words pervaded the recording to attack all aspects of Drake's life, including his career, authenticity, brand, relationships, and character. Exaggerated imagery in the music video reinforces Not Like Us is not intended to reflect factual analysis. For example, the video opens Lamar whispering to a clown and that sees, I see people, to nod to the film The Sixth Sense, implying hyperbolically that Drake has been defeated in a rap battle. The video also shows Lamar beating out Pinata with this disclaimer: no hovey hoes were harmed during this video, during the making of this video, and start staring down at the owl in the cage, which I genuinely mean, yeah, anyway, I won't go into that. If you want to see my reaction to that, then you'll just stay on my other channel. The imagery reinforces the non-factual nature of Not Like Us. Indeed, no reasonable listener would require a disclaimer that the pinata is not literally Drake and his crew. The imagery is a satirical, um, vitriolic, all of which signals the audience to the video does not convey sober, factual analysis. Likewise, the album image of Drake to Run the House is obviously distorted, is doctored, further underscoring the non-factual nature of Not Like Us. Again, no reasonable viewer would believe that the image of Drake Toronto mansion with 13 offenders markers is real. The image is a hyperbolic and exaggerated conveying opinion, not fact. All right, so rejecting the claim, arising out of the magazine's outrageous artwork depict the television minister or manager that was patently offensive. See, they're going into other cases to let you know, yeah, he went in this case, Drake. Do you know what I mean? The broader context also reinforces that Not Like Us is non-actionable. Not Like Us did not emerge out of thin air. It was Lamar's culminating diss track in one of the nastiest lyrical warfare rap feuds in recent history. It followed with the release of 7 preceding tracks in which Drake and Lamar held increasingly vitriolic allegations at each other, including Drake slurs at Lamar's son was fathered by someone else, and that Lamar cheats on his physically abuses his fiancée. If ever there was circumstances for the audience to anticipate the use of epiphatic theory, rhetoric, hyperbole, this is it. Moreover, assessment of the broader context makes clear that Not Like Us relates to well-known controversies Drake himself acknowledged, perpetrated well-known allegations, well-known controversies that Drake himself acknowledged and perpetrated. Considering the overall context in which the statements were made, a reasonable listener would not have believed that the challenge statements were conveying facts about the plaintiff, rather than opinion, because the statements were based on facts that widely reported by Western New York media statements that known listeners, engaged in criminal acts not actionable, where listeners were familiar with the issues in disputes with respective sides and positions. Facts of criticism concerning Drake's relationship with minors predate Not Like Us and have been widely reported, noting that Lamar is indicating Drake for years. Rumors and speculations around his misbehaviors around minors, and that Millie Bobby Brown is one of the things that most people are aware of when it comes to Drake and rumors around him. She talked about texts with Drake when she was, a minor. Yo, This attorney is not playing no games. They are not playing no games. No games. She talked about texting with Drake when she was, a minor. You didn't have to put it like that. Hey. Yo. Notably, Drake himself called Lamar to invoke these allegations in tailor-made freestyle released before Not Like Us, in which he had Tupac's AI-generated voice rap that Lamar should talk about Drake liking young girls. The Heart Part 6, Drake also affirmed that he understood Lamar's statement "It's Not Like Us" to refer to Millie Bobby Brown controversy, stating his Epstein angle was the expected and only effing with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's. I never look at it twice, teenager. Clearly, Drake himself understands that Lamar's lyrics refer solely to a well-known issue, taken together with the fact that Not Like Us was released in the context of competitive, vitriolic rap diss battle. It would be obvious to even the most casual observer that Not Like Us is not an accurate factual assessment offered by disinterested observer. In sum, the tone and broader context in which Not Like Us was released makes plain that the recording video and the album cover convey rhetorical hyperbole and opinion not based on anything beyond controversies and have been widely acknowledged, including by Drake himself. Drake fails to state an actionable claim for defamation. Drake can not allege that UMG acted with actual malice. Drake's defamation claim fails for the independent reason that, as a matter of law, he cannot allege that UMG acted with actual malice. A public figure can only prevail on a defamation claim where clear and convincing evidence proved that false and defamatory statements was published with actual malice. This malice, that is, with deliberate or reckless falsification. The element of the actual malice in a defamation claim focuses primarily on what defendant knew or believed at the time purportedly false statements were made. All right, so where was we? To survive a motion to dismiss the defamation, plaintiff must allege specific facts and plausibly evidence an actual malice in clear and convincing manner. Courts recognize that certain circumstances, such as works of fiction, parody, and satire, the actual malice inquiry must focus on that what the publisher subjectively intend to convey. For example, where the speaker intends to send his statements are outrageous parodies and caricatures, there may be no consciousness that the speaker is publishing something false because the speaker does not think he is publishing a statement of fact and therefore lacks subjective knowledge or recklessness, or as a falsification of statement of fact to show actual malice. Affirming dismissal of defamation claim where no basis of contention that the defendant intended satirical article to convey defamatory facts. It would seem too simplistic in the case of a fictional satirical simply to question whether the author published has the subject intent publish falsity, since such works are not intended to convey truth. Alleged defamatory the alleged defamatory statements by participants in a world championship wrestling match not actionable as they do not contain necessarily. Okay. Anyway, so to here, there is no basis for claim that any person in UMG had the subjective intent to publish false factual statement about Drake. UMG released a rap diss track conveying very rhetoric insults and not factual assessments and much less false ones. UMG engaged the same contact with the disputed Drake's family matters, in which Drake rapped that Lamar engaged in domestic abuse and is not the father of his son. Much like the parody of satire, hyperbole, exaggeration, and insults are endemic in rap. particularly in diss tracks. Rappers know that the lyrics are exaggerated and non-factual. That is part of the craft. The actual malice question is therefore the UMG intended to convey, and Drake not alleged any specific facts, plausibly evidence in clear and convincing manner that anyone at UMG intended to convey or intend believe that the public would understand Not Like Us as conveying anything other than what it was in incendiary diss track. Drake fails to state a claim for harassment in the second degree. Drake further assessed that criminal claim and harassment in second degree um, on the theory that Kendrick Lamar issued a call to violence against Drake in Not Like Us. I was wondering we were going to get to this. And the song about its incitement of this claim fails for multiple reasons. First, there's no private right of action, where penal statutes does not expressly confer private right or action on individual pursuing civil relief recovery. Such a statute may be under the private right of action, may fairly impaired. All right. This requires considering whether creation of such right would be consistent with or legislative scheme, which is not the case. There are alternative enforcement mechanisms. All right. Anyway, excuse me. Hang on. This thing is about to. That's how you know I've been on there long. So now see the battery go low like that. I know what time it is. Soon time for me to come on stream. That's what that means. Anyway, section 8. Anyway, section 240 does not point 26 does not satisfy this test because nothing distinguishes it from every other run-of-the-mill criminal statute that lacks private right of action. Rarely is there a private right of action under criminal statute. A general rule, when a statute is contained solely within the penal law section, the New York legislature intended it as police regulation to be enforced only by a court or criminal jurisdiction. Let's just get to the Kendrick Lamar situation and Drake situation. That's what we're here for. Because I'm seeing a pattern. They're literally using other people's cases to say, look, do you know what I mean? Look. And if they're doing that, if Drake wants to take it further, guess what? UMG are ready to take it even more further. That's what it seems like to me. But there isn't really a case here. I said it before, there isn't really a case. Even if this statute did have a private right for action of harassment claim would fail, the statute requires UMG act with intent to harass, annoy, or alarm Drake. But at most, Drake media asserts an intent to devalue Drake's music and brand in order to gain leverage in negotiations, which is not intent to harass Drake. And regardless, this allegation is speculative, conclusory, and illogical. Drake does not even attempt to explain how a contract with Drake does not even attempt to explain how a contract with Drake would be more profitable for UMG if UMG was devalued. Facts. He doesn't mention it. After all, decreased leverage would presumably come from decreased revenues for decreased profits. Moreover, Drake's allegations are contradicted by his allegations that UMG had the opposite incentive with respect to re-signing Lamar. Furthermore, does not prescribe pure speech, which is what is an issue here. Indeed, did prescribe speech, when then it would be struck down. Courts of New York's Court of Appeals have invalidated multiple laws and purport to criminalize harassing speech. Yeah. All right. So next, even if Drake could surmount those obstacles, he claims will still fail because he cannot meet the constitutional test for incitement in any event. Under the First Amendment, incitement can be prescribed only where the speech is directed to incite and producing a minimum lawless action and likely to incite or produce such action. First, even accepting Drake's nonsensical theory that UMG wanted to devalue his brand, Drake never alleges that UMG specifically intended to cause violence against him, and any such allegation would be utterly implausible. Second, the lyrics of Not Like Us are not likely to incite or produce imminent lawless action, or even qualify as speech which alarms or seriously annoys. It's a rap diss track. Drake attempts to contour violent metaphors in his lyrics into incitement, like the sound of someone being beaten up. The recording repeats what, and then said Lamar F him up. But as explained above, hyperbolic metaphorical language is part of the course of diss tracks. Indeed, Drake's own diss tracks employed imagery. I told you, at least a violent, such as sounds like your there's nowhere to hide. I'll slit your with a razor. Yeah, that I'm stuffing in chamber. Your is in extreme danger. In short, as with defamation claims, Drake seeks to chill a form of artistic expression that he himself has embraced. Courts have rejected far stronger claims, imminent lawless actions than rap diss lyrics. And they even went for the NAACP. Yo, anyway, that was cheeky to put that in there. But anyway, if we watch any of you go in any of them racist stores, you're gonna break your protect speech, even though fired at the boycott violations. Anyway, finally, Drake fails to allege because he cannot that UMG acted no legitimate purpose in publishing and promoting Not Like Us. The phrase no legitimate purpose means the absence of a reason or justification engage someone or other than bound to frighten, intimate, or threaten. Here, Drake expressly alleges UMG's motives with respect to Not Like Us were financial, seemingly recognizing the deficiency. Drake alleged that while its initial motive was financial, UMG lost an illegitimate purpose to continue the course of conduct in the face of Drake's public and private denials. But this is cursory legal conclusion. Drake's denials about the song have nothing to do with UMG. Motivations were solely to hound, frighten, intimidate, and threaten, which by Drake's own admission, they were not. Drake fails to state claim under New York GBI. Finally, Drake purports to bring claims New York general business law, which he asserts UMG violated by covertly financially incentivizing third parties to play, streaming, and promote recording, and then by materially false and misleading representation of recording popularity or consumers. These allegations are entirely bogus. But in all events, failed to state a claim. To state, plaintiff must allege that the defendant's conduct was consumer orientated. The defendant's act or practice was deceptive or misleading in a material way, and the plaintiff suffered an injury result of the deception, which is what he's trying to say. That's basically what Drake is trying to say. Because of it, I got injured, or someone from my team got injured. That's what he's basically trying to say. I can see what he's trying to do and get out. It makes sense why he's doing it, but it's still wrong. It still doesn't make sense. But anyway, let's keep moving. The centerpiece of this claim was utterly false allegation, false assertion. UMG used bots to stream Not Like Us. Drake based this theory on a claim that an anonymous individual alleged on a Twitch stream that Kendrick Lamar's label, Interscope, paid him via third party to use bots to achieve 30 million streams. The 30 million streams on Spotify in initial days following Not Like Us release. But the claim is then directly refuted by the very source that Drake cites, Twitch. A Twitch stream. Anonymous speaker, already a dubious source, claims that he hired by Anthony Saleh, who is Kendrick Lamar's manager. UMG Intercom never accused critically after UMG notified Drake counsel the falsity Drake allegation via letter. A company wrote Drake conceded the falsity and agreed to withdraw and correct the meritless allegations. See declarations. Rolling and Ransom. Despite the concessions, Drake has refused and to actually amend the complaint to withdraw the admittedly false allegations until UMG files their motion to dismiss. All right, nearly enough. What is left of the claim after subtracting the bogus stream manipulation theory is equally spurious. I've seen some new words here that I've never seen in my life. As an initial matter, all of the remaining allegations are made on information and belief without stating the basis. Therefore, Drake has also received information that UMG engaged in a classic pay-for-play scheme by playing the increase the airplay of the recording on the radio. On information, belief UMG employed by a similar scheme by playing social media influencers. Thank you for this, because they had to mention this somehow, somewhere. I mean, they were kind of, but the fact that they outlined it there. Where was that? An information belief employed a similar scheme, but by paying social media influencers to promote and endorse recording and video. This is, of course, improper bleeding and warrants dismissal. Moreover, a cries plaintiff alleged that suffered an injury as a result of deception. Yet, the artificially streaming is out. Drake does not assert that the UMG's other supposedly deceptive conduct injured him, save for putative misstatements concerning the popularity of Not Like Us on radio. Plaintiff was separately injured as a direct proximate result of defendant deceptive acts and practice in the radio industry, because every time the recording was played, Drake lost the opportunity for one of his songs to get played, but the allegations are insufficient. First, the notice of consumer-oriented conduct. The deceptive act Drake alleges is that UMG marketed a recording, a chart-topping, despite knowing that it paid third parties, including radio stations, to play and promote the recording. But his complaint alleged that only UMG marketed Not Like Us as chart-topping on its website for licensing on television and film. Statements aimed at the television and film industry concern the license rather than consumers are not consumer-orientated. Anyway, we're just going to keep moving there. Second, Drake does not allege that the statement was deceptive or misleading in a material way. Drake never alleges, nor could he, Not Like Us would not have been chart-topping had it not been for the alleged payments as an issue, nor does he include any allegations to why the chart-topping claim would be material in any event. Third, Drake allegations of injury, causation of a lacking, Drake theory that every time the recording was played, Drake lost the opportunity for one of his songs to be played. It's widely speculative and not cognizable. Where we are, speculative causation, insufficient support, nor does Drake allege that any lost radio opportunities will result in any supposed UMG misstatements and the song's popularity, which means that he does not allege any injury that is a result of deception of this issue. For all those reasons, Drake claim fails. All right, now this is officially the last part. Conclusion. For all the foregoing reasons, plaintiff's complaint should be dismissed with prejudice. And that's it. And that's it. And that's it. Dated March 17, 2025. Get me, Rollin A. Ransom. Get me. Yeah, man. I don't know what to say, man. Look, the reality is here. Counsel for Defendant UMG recording, see, and Nicholas P. Cornwell, and basically from Sidley Austin LLP. So, in conclusion, from what I'm seeing, from what I, as you hear sirens, ironically, right? I feel like there's gonna be, put it this way. In conclusion, to this particular rebuttal, because that's what it is. It's a rebuttal. It's the same thing if it's a diss track. This is their response, right? All right. So to me, they did this. They replied back so well. It reminds me of how Kendrick Lamar replied back to Drake with, you know what I mean? Not that was with certain information in a certain format. This reminds me of Meet the Grahams. I kid you not. If there's any song or this song, especially between Drake and Kendrick Lamar, if there's any song that I could say summarizes that, some may say it's Euphoria, but I disagree. Do you know what I mean? The other thing, the other statement they made in like November, December, or whatever, that was their Euphoria. This is their Meet the Grahams. This is their Meet the Grahams. And the reason why I'm saying that is because in Meet the Grahams, it was so eerie. And this is so eerie because they went into detail in terms of other people's cases when it comes to defamation. They went into the simple fact of, you know, this is what we market and promote our artists. We got over this amount of artists, and you know what I mean? This, and that. And then furthermore, other than that, it goes into detail like, nah, hold on, you also made claims against, you know what I mean, Kendrick Lamar as well. You know what I mean? And then also what I liked about this particular case in general, there's two things I liked. One, how they worded the whole Millie Bobby Brown situation. You know what I mean? The way they worded that, perfect. Because it lets them know, okay, wait, there's more to this. There's more to this. And then when I say there's more to this, I'm talking about that particular situation because the information has already been out there. That's what they're trying to say. It's been out there. It's not like you could say it's a fact, but the information about him and minors has been out there. Those are facts. Can't be disputed. No matter what Drake wants to say, it can't be disputed. Even he's mentioned it before. Like I said. Now, also, the main other thing I genuinely like what they said, it was in regards to the history of hip hop, the history of rap, when it comes to feuds, yeah, dating back to the 70s. Do you know what I mean? And then they even mentioned the whole Roxanne wars. Do you know what I mean? With Roxanne Shante. The fact that they mentioned Roxanne Shante, like, it goes to show you hip hop is here to stay, bruv. Like, I don't know if there's gonna be anyone else breaking down this rebuttal, but I'm doing it. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, right? And I promise you, if there's gonna be more, I will react to that as well. I just hope it's not as long because 32 pages is kind of long. Even 81 pages is super long. I had to break that down into pieces. That took me how many weeks to finish? But like, yeah, man. Like in general, like if I was to summarize, I can speak. If I was to summarize, I can't speak. Let me put that into words. Like, if I'm to summarize this particular situation, I'll just say this: this case will be dismissed, and my predictions, and I still could be wrong. Even though I do predict this case will be dismissed, I feel like we haven't seen nothing yet. I feel like something else is going to happen towards Drake. And when I say something, I'm not saying something. Let me be careful with the words I'm using. Put it this way: he's basically opened a can of worms. Basically, and I'll leave it like that. You know what I mean? The same way that Not Like Us in that video, Drake is in a cage. Well, no, he's not. It's more of the owl that's in the cage. That's what remember, even in Meet the Grahams, didn't Kendrick even say the embassy is about to get raided? It's only a matter of time. Listen, I'm not trying to predict that on nobody or whatever, but I just feel like there's something else. And you know when you can just feel that there's something else that's gonna happen. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it, but let me know what your thoughts are. I was gonna react to something else. In fact, let me shout you out as well, all you people here. So shout out to, let me see if I can get your name right. Marcarios. Shout you out. What video do you want me to react to? I don't have time to react to it now. If you can leave that in the live chat, you know what I mean, then I could possibly react to that one in like soon, like another time. There was something else I was gonna react to, but looking at the time, you know what I mean, especially the time it is. Look at the time I've been on stream, and then also look at the time that, you know what I mean, or the thing that I was gonna react to that, do you know what I mean, makes sense towards this. I don't have enough time. You know what I mean? I'm definitely gonna come back tomorrow and react to it. That's a fact. That's a fact. It'll probably be the only. No, it won't be the only thing. No, it possibly would because of how long it is. But anyway, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. But yeah, man, that was an interesting rebuttal. I can't wait for Drake's response. I'm looking forward to what his response is going to be. It's probably going to be a picture on Instagram. You know what I mean? Like, but not in like a proper picture, but like in an IG stories or on his I forgot what you call them type of accounts. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh man, how do you even respond? You just dismiss the case. Do you know what I mean? Dismiss it. He's either gonna get anyway. That's enough on that. That's enough. But yeah, man, let me know what your thoughts are. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that. But yeah.